Are live and direct from Honolulu, Hawaii. Welcome to M3 Power Collabs with me, your host, Brother Mike Dillard. And today, for our special guest host, we have Regina Woodard. Regina is the queen. She is the undisputed queen of car loans. Now, Regina, how you doing today, sis?
I am excellent. I am doing real good. Thank you for having me this evening on your show. I really appreciate the invitation or the
Yeah.
invite. So yes, thank you very much.
Oh yeah, no problem, no problem. I'm really glad to have you. So, I'm gonna tell you right now, if you don't know Regina, you need to get to know Regina, right? She's a dynamic speaker, right? Her personality is amazing, and she has so much knowledge. Regina, seriously, you have so much knowledge about like the car industry and buying cars and loans and all this stuff. A lot of people don't know this, but like when I was younger, I'm the man of a billion backstories, right? I always got a backstory for everything. So when I got my first car in Hawaii in 1989, it was a 1990 Nissan Sentra XE. It was red. It was a 4-door sedan. People was like, "You're 19 years old. Why are you buying a 4-door car?" And I'm like, I like Sentras because they were easy to park. I'm from New Jersey, so right. So I went to the dealership, but actually what I wanted to get was like it was like a 240 SX or something. I mean, it was like a sports car. It was dope. That's really what I wanted. I walked in there and somehow I left with a daggone Sentra with 4 doors. And I was happy with the car, but that wasn't really what I wanted. But I didn't bring anybody in it with me. I was 19 years old.
So you got your first car. So wait, you got your first car when you were 19 years old?
Yeah.
You purchased it by yourself?
Yeah, I was Navy. I was active duty. So, I had money. I got the backing of the government. So for me, it was easy. They're like, okay.
Well, that's good. I'm giving you kudos because to be 19 years old, to purchase your first car by yourself, that's huge. That's huge. So congratulations. Congratulations. You know what? See, most 19, most 19, most 19-year-olds in the United States, they're not able to purchase a car by themselves at 19 years old. They need a co-signer or they need help, they need help with the credit. They have no credit when they're 19 years old. Or their parents then maybe messed up their credit going up because they use their kids' credit. So congratulations for serving our country and being in the Navy, and congratulations on purchasing your first car at 19.
Thank you. And one thing I really admire about you, what really intrigues me, now I'm in a position where, I own my cars outright, and if I want to go buy, literally I could just go buy a car outright, right? But to know, like, I always had a fear of used car salesman, because I would go on a lot and I'm like, man, I know whatever deal I work out, I'm getting played. I just had that feeling like, I'm getting played. I don't know all of this stuff, right? But then when I watch your videos, I'm like, man, Regina really knows her stuff. Crap, I wish I knew Regina like so many years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't have got played on whatever I got played on.
Well, you know what? What I look to do on my YouTube page, which is Regina, the Queen of Car Loans and Credit, I look to educate folks. I'll talk about how to buy a car, maybe the 5 steps to buy a car, and then I'll talk about credit. Your different types of credit. So I I look to educate folks on buying or leasing a car and about credit, because you have to, if you don't learn at home, because some people don't get the education at home when it comes to finances. So it's all about financial literacy. If you're young and you didn't get it at home, you young when you learn when you're young. Now I said one key thing: you learn when you're young, so that you don't have to make those mistakes in your late 20s or your 30s or your 40s and not repeat the same situation. You're supposed to grow. So as long as you grow from that situation or you grow from a mistake, it doesn't matter how old you are, because if you make a mistake, if you buy your first car at 30 or 35, because a lot of people have paid cash for cars,
Right.
And then into the world where they need to refinance right now, and they haven't financed the car. So that's why I have my videos out there to educate folks,
Yeah.
customers, on what to do.
I love it. And you know what we're going to do right quick? We're going to shoot over to one of your videos, right? We're just going to play like 30, 45 seconds. But your videos are so educational, so powerful. I'm like, man, you know what? I've got to have Regina on my show. I got to get your message out because your videos are dope. They're quality. The information is high value and people need to hear you, right? So let's go ahead. We're going to go ahead and shift over right quick to one of the videos. You mentioned buying and leasing, so we're gonna check out buying and leasing a car, okay? That's what we're gonna do right quick.
Today's subject is, or should I say today's title is buying or leasing. Being in the car business for 23 years, actually this January was my 23rd year of being in the car business.
Whoa.
You know, I remember when my mother, for 40 years, she had always bought a car. I introduced leasing to her when I first got in the car business in 1998. I sat down with her and I was telling her all the great things of actually leasing a car. And I said to her, you know what? You're going to get a lower down payment when it comes to leasing a car, and you're going to get a low monthly payment. And then when you lease a car, you can drive the car for less money. You know, if you actually drive a Tahoe, if you buy $73,000 premium, you can be at a payment around $1,500 a month. But if you lease it, your payment's going to be a lot lower. And the reason people lease it is because it's an easy transition to get a new car every 2 to 3 years. Actually, dealerships, we love when you lease because we get to see you more often. We know when your lease is coming up. We keep track of you. We actually follow you through the lease.
There we go. There we go. All right. So, Regina, you still with me? It's the thing about technology. It might freeze up for a minute. All right. You there? You there? Nothing yet. All right. Okay, so while we're waiting on Regina to come back in, so you guys saw the video, right? I mean, it's quality video. She's dropping some gems. And whether you're in her area or not, then, you know, still, you need to check her out, right? Her videos are quality. She has loads of information. You can check her out on YouTube, check her out on LinkedIn. Yeah, it looks like we just lost her for a minute. Hold on a second. All right. Technology is great. I'm back in the front. I'm gonna have to hit her up on LinkedIn, right? You froze, sis. You froze up. Sorry, guys. Come back in the studio. Bam. So here's a quick backstory. I just bought a mic. I just bought a microphone. I got this big mic here, right? So now I got a little professional mic like everybody else, right? The mic kind of threw the settings off and whatnot. And today I figured I would actually bring in a video feed. Like I usually don't pull in another video. Like you guys have never seen me pull somebody's video up before, like, but it was so important. I wanted you guys to see that. So I did that today. But I think by pulling up her video, it kind of, you know, it just froze her, right? So I just hit her up on LinkedIn. Hey, come on, you froze up, coming back in. So she should be coming back in a second. And we're going to go from there, right? But anyway. All right. Well, what can we talk about in the meanwhile? We got anybody out there? Anybody out there? I see we got some viewers. Thank you so much to my viewers, whoever you are, my anonymous viewers. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here, supporting me. There we go. There's my sister. I see she just popped back in the studio. We're going to put her on right now.
Hey, you know, this technology is something else. I don't know.
It really is. You know, I was just telling everybody, I'm like, hey, you know what? I bought a mic. The mic kind of screwed up settings. I pulled in a video. I think the video bumped Regina, and so it is what it is. Now I can see you backstage. I can't see your camera though. I mean, we can't see you on the live stream, but I see you when you're.
You can't see me, but you can. No. So you can hear me, but you can't see me.
Yeah. Yep.
I think that might be you because I think I'm. It says I'm in the show. I'm not there.
No, you're in the show. Your image just is not. So maybe if you turn your camera off and then turn it back on again.
You want me to leave out and come back in?
No. Actually, EJ, my sister EJ said she can see you both. So you know what? That's some weird, freaky stuff on my side. Okay. Okay, so I can't see you, but EJ says she can see you. Huh?
I said, as long as they can see me.
Yeah, as long as they can see. Okay, so what we gonna do? Thank you, EJ. Thank you, sister. I appreciate you. All the way from the UK, London. Okay, so
United Kingdom.
EJ is amazing. So now we're actually gonna really get into the bulk of the show, right? Like I said, I wanted to make sure I did today's episode a little bit different because your content is so amazing on YouTube. I'm like, you know what? These people have to see at least part of a video, right? So you actually, thank you so much because you actually, you kind of inspired me to grow. I've never done that before. I didn't even know I could do that, right? See?
Yeah.
You did. All right, so today's show, we always talk about, like I mentioned, Regina, it's about M3, right? Mindset matters most. So we see you today. We see this very successful, person with the queen of car loans, over 20 years, right, in the business, killing the game. YouTube, killing the game. Now on LinkedIn, killing the game, right? So, but we understand you were not always this person, right? You wasn't always here. You know what I mean? Like you wasn't this successful version of you, right? So we want to talk about just the time in your past when you was going through the struggle. That's what I call it, right? If you take us back to a moment in the struggle, you're like one of your hardest times that you was going through. And I think it's really important because right now with the pandemic and the economy the way it is, everyone is really struggling. They're just struggling, and people need encouragement. So that brought this show on just so that people can be encouraged and know, like, you know what? You're not going through it alone. Everybody, we all been through it before. We've all got a story, but we managed to get out of it, right? So that's the whole heart of this show. So I'm gonna turn it over to you now, and you got it.
I think if I can go back to when I was growing up, I struggled when I was growing up. I was I have two other brothers. I was the baby girl. Two older brothers. Back in the day, we called it mental retardation. And my parents had two kids. It's two boys. My brother is 56, and then my other brother's 54. And then I'm not gonna tell my age, but yeah. So my struggle was just fitting in. I fit in, but it was like growing up, and I was tall. I was age 11, wore size 12, same height. And I what actually got me on the right path, because I struggled because I was like the last chance baby. My parents had two kids. It was like, oh my God, I want to have a kid that comes out with no issues, right? And so no, seriously. And then when I say no issues, it's not like I'm a serious person, but I have that warm heart. You just have to get to know me, right? And with that growing up, I struggle with trying to fit in a little bit. So I turned to basketball. Basketball got me through high school. It got me through junior college to college, where I was able to get my associates in liberal arts and my bachelor's in sociology. So I struggled just trying to, because I was the same height, slimmer at the same age, and I always got teased, for being the tallest person, and that was a mental thing, far as struggling with it, right? And people didn't understand how much that hurt me inside. So growing up, I had to be like the tough person, it's like you got to be defensive, right?
Yeah.
So growing up, that's how I turned out to be. It's always on the defense a little bit. It's because of that. When you play basketball, you defend and you taking the ball to the hoop, right? And you're
Right.
defending, right? So it came a little bit about that. But as I grew older, when I got in my 20s, I
Okay.
started finding myself, knowing, hey, you know what, Regina, it's okay. It's okay to be the tallest person. It's okay to wear the same shoe size that you wore when you were 11 years old.
Yeah.
But when I really started finding myself is when I got in the car business and I was able to excel and I was able to just like brand myself by, passing out flyers, talking to people and helping people with their situation. It's
Yeah.
because just give you a little bit of background on me is that I've been in the automobile business for 23 years.
Mm.
I help people solve their problems, right?
Right.
People come to me with their issues about their credit or about problems getting into a car, and I give them a solution about getting them into the car. And so that has helped me go to the next level is because I'm helping people. I strive to make people happy. I
Yeah.
strive to put people in the car of their dreams.
Okay.
So that's pretty much that was my struggle. I mean that and I haven't told that story too often, Michael.
Oh yeah. I appreciate you saying that. I'm trying to remember. This is a very famous. Oh, what is her name? I don't know. She used to be married to Russell Simmons. Kimora Lee Simmons, right?
Yes.
So I remember her. It was a similar story, and she was saying like, you know what, baby used to always tease her and call her giraffe and all types, and it used to hurt her feelings so much. But then, like when she found herself, and her thing was modeling, right? She found it and just took off from there. And it's just like, you know what? Now look at me. So it's like, you know what? Remember who you're teasing because they're gonna grow up to be, whoever, and you never know. Like that's their gift. Like that height.
Yeah.
That was the thing, right? So
Yeah.
wow. Okay, so tell me a little bit. So you said you used to play basketball?
Yep. I played basketball. I was a junior college All-American.
Oh, wow.
I was the number one rebounder in the nation. 88, 89. Yeah, I mean that I played basketball. And that was to me, I want to call that the gift to myself, a gift to the world. That was my outlet, Michael, was basketball. Now my outlet is cars and helping people get excellent credit. So let me just say this. If you're looking to get a hold of me, I do have the YouTube channel that I talked about, Regina, the Queen of Car Loans and Credit. But you can also find me on LinkedIn, as Regina Eileen Woodard. But then also you can find me on Facebook, too. So it's so many ways that you can get in touch with me. But the great thing, what I love about social media, Michael, is that I met you. And people are, what I'm learning, what I'm looking to do is get out my comfort zone is to reach and meet new people, network. Network. And I'm learning that you don't have to meet a person face to face in order to network.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. Ever since Clubhouse came about. Are you on Clubhouse?
I'm not on Clubhouse, and I understand that they now have it for Android.
Michael, you got to get on it, Michael.
All right, let's talk about Clubhouse. I didn't know we was going to go here, but because I have been thinking about this lately, right? It's like, what? Why is everybody on Clubhouse? Like, why? Because honestly, it's like, there's a new fad, and then everybody goes on it, like Periscope. Remember, it was on Periscope for a minute, and then Periscope was gone, right? So I'm like, you know what? I don't know if I'm gonna put any effort into Clubhouse, but I keep hearing. So you're telling me, why should I go on Clubhouse? Why would you tell us? Clubhouse?
Well, it's audio, and of course, it came about right before Corona. Oh, I think it was was it? Yeah. No, I think it came about maybe last summer, last May. I'm not sure exactly the month, but it's because you network with people that you would never, ever have met or networked with. It's a gentleman that, you got dealership owners, you got people that own small business, you got people that own television stations, so, you got people that you would never, ever will have met in your life, that you're going to be in the same room, that you can have a conversation with, that you can go into their inbox on Instagram. Is because when you hooked up on Clubhouse, you have to talk to someone, like to have a one-on-one conversation with someone,
Yeah.
their Instagram has to be hooked up to their to the clubhouse. And then you go into their DM and you have a conversation with them. You talk to them. So I
Got
mean,
it.
once you got it, Mike, you gotta do it because you're a powerhouse. You know, you're a powerhouse.
Hey, thank you. Appreciate it. I appreciate it. You know, so you're in you're in Shanae Moray's group, right? Are you in her group right now?
Yes, I am in Shanae. Yes, I am. That I call Shanae. We always call her. She's a young lady, but an old soul. You know, she has a wisdom. She is one of the greatest persons that, or the one of the. I'm not giving the right words
Yeah.
about Shanae, but Shanae is top next level. You know, and she's talking to older people. She's talking to the middle age, and she's talking to
Yeah.
the young. Growth Academy is
Mhm.
if her 21-day challenge of doing videos and just, I've done your videos for years, right? But I
Right.
didn't realize how much growth I've done in the last couple of months with my videos because of Growth Academy. And then
So let's talk
honestly,
about this.
I'm
Let's talk
sorry.
about it. I'm glad you brought it. Let's talk about this right quick. So a lot of people are trying to break into social media, and like you said, you've been doing it for a minute. And I looked on your YouTube channel, right? All these videos, and I'm like, whoa! I thought you just got started like with the YouTube channel, but then when I looked at all the videos, I'm like, okay, she's been doing this for a minute. Like the thumbnails, the quality, everything, right?
Well, Michael, I have a team. Let me just say this: I'm really boasting about my YouTube page because I need to get my subscribers up. I've just started that YouTube page I think in January, right? And I have a team actually doing my thumbnails and
Okay.
actually a company, and then I have my coach in the middle working with the thumbnails, making sure the recordings are right. You know, because I do a lot of my videos. I do a lot of videos in my car while I'm driving. Sometimes people don't say it's safe, but I may be strolling down the street or whatever, keeping my eyes and the phone's right there. But I do a lot of thinking in my car. So I mean, I've been doing videos, TV commercials for years, right? And so that's where it comes natural. But I'm learning that you gotta talk to your audience. You gotta bring the information because you gotta talk to your audience. You gotta find out what they want to hear.
Yeah.
So that's what
Right.
Shanae has really honestly taught me. You got to feel what the audience wants.
Yeah, and there's different techniques also, right? So I mean, I did her growth. I only did 1 month of the Growth Academy, and it was amazing. I learned so much. I got a video that went viral out of it, and I got friends all over the world now. I mean, it's just amazing, right? But one of the things that I got out, because I'm like you, I'm used to being in front of videos and cameras and whatnot, but I learned different techniques, and that was the thing, right? It's like, man, I didn't realize there were so many different techniques. So I mean, just in a month, I learned so much. Now I can go on social media and watch what people are doing and say, oh, I see what they're doing. And I see it's working, huh?
And then you know what I learned? When were you on Growth Academy? Was you on the 20-day last month, or was it before then?
It was before then. So I know some of the group that you're in now, they was in my group.
Okay.
So Rallis and Ali and all of those people, Mark, Natalia.
Okay. So one thing what I've learned about the videos is that, or what I learned from Growth Academy and Shanae is you got to be consistent. You got to keep doing videos. You got to keep doing, and you got to reach out to people, and you got to get on people's podcasts. Actually, truth be told, I've been watching you, and I remember when you actually sent me a connect on LinkedIn, and then I hit you in your DM to be on your show. And I did that was because it was. Shanae kept telling me, you got to get on people's podcasts. You got to get on people's podcasts. They don't invite you. You got to get on, because people sometimes don't understand. Sometimes they might look like, I'm not approachable, or I'm not, even though I'm busy, I'm approachable, and I will, and I invite to be on other people's podcasts because that's getting on their platform, and I want to, and I want to be known across the world. I just don't want to be known here because, I got some things that I'm working on where, I'm going to be offering a product or I'll be offering a subscription,
Okay.
where people can, get information and just I can walk them through the process of buying a car. Because
Right.
a lot of customers, when they're looking to buy a car or looking to get their credit together, they need to be able to reach out to the expert. They got to feel comfortable.
Right.
The thing about me is the reason I call myself the queen, Michael, is
Uh,
because 75%, 80% of my customers have under a 550 credit score, right?
oh wow.
And and I pride myself, and I got people that got excellent credit too, the other 20%,
Mhm.
right? But
Yeah.
what I do is I pride myself in working my customers through the process of buying that car. Because, it's
Mhm.
like, okay, this is what you need to do in the beginning. This is
Mhm.
what happens in the middle. This is what
Yeah.
happens in the end. And even if
Mhm.
you're not ready, if you 6 months out from buying a
Yeah.
car or a year, I can
Mhm.
walk you through the process of what you need to do to get your credit together. Or get things you need to look for when it comes to buying a car. Maybe word tracks that we'll say at the dealership. You will
Right.
already know, like, okay, I know what that means. Or Regina, the queen of car loans, she told me. And the great thing about me, Michael, is that I'm Googleable. You can Google Regina, the queen of car loans, and my videos will come up. I'll come up my Facebook page, LinkedIn, and see
Mhm.
when you can Google somebody, when you
Mm.
can Google a person, then you know that person is genuine, and if they got good reviews. Because if a person doesn't have good reviews, they
Right.
won't steer you toward Google. They'll let you stay away. They'll say we don't even want you to go because being on Google, people will
Right.
put some bad things about you out there. If you're not that person that's not giving good information.
Right. It's true. And you know what I love what you said, it's about the information, So
Yeah.
what I hear you saying is like one of the key reasons that you're so successful, and I know that there's many reasons, but one of the key reasons I see right off the bat is you're an expert, you're a subject matter expert. And a lot of people, because they see people like blowing up on social media, they think they can just jump on and be like the king or the queen. You can throw a title on, but they don't understand like the knowledge that it took to actually be that person. They don't understand the steps. And to be a subject matter, so I always say I have a 9 to 5. So at my 9 to 5, I'm a subject matter expert. There's only a few people in my state that have the certification that I have, right? So people already know I can walk into a building. I'm gonna be like, boom, 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 boom. You can't do this. You can't do that. The books say blah, 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 right? They already know I know, right? So, when you're a subject matter expert and I was in the Navy for like 22 years, right? So I remember as a chief petty officer, we would get these officers that would come in. Then they're acting kind of all highfalutin because they're an officer, right? And they're talking, and we just sit there like, okay, thank you, sir. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And they walk out, we're like, that joker don't know nothing. They just talking, he don't know anything. If somebody knows their stuff in 2 minutes, you already know. And if somebody really knows, like your stuff, then we're gonna give you the platform. We're gonna give you the audience, bow down to the queen, listen to what she got to say, right? Because
Right.
you know your stuff. So it's important. And if you don't mind, I will also say one other thing that I see about you, Regina, is it's your personality. So when I saw your video, that one day I hit you up on a video and I was like, hey, your video is slamming. I recommend you do blah, 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 right? I have a very odd sleep schedule. And it's from when I was in the military. I just take cat naps. So I don't really have a set time to sleep. Like some people say, well, I need my 5 hours of sleep. I don't. I take cat naps. That's what Thomas Edison did, right? So if I'm tired like 2 in the afternoon, I'm gonna take like a 30-minute cat nap. I'm gonna get up and hit it, or maybe like an hour. And that goes all throughout the night. So they're like, how are you running 4 companies and you have a 9 to 5? Because I don't sleep like the average person sleeps, and I don't think like the average person, right? But with you, so I was up. It may have been like 2 in the morning. I'm like, let me check on my phone. Let me see what's going on. Who is this? Regina the queen, what is this, right? And I looked at that, I was like, okay, you're kind of hovering, like, should I press it or should I go buy it, right? Should I watch the video? Is it relevant to me? And I'm like, you know what? Number one, it's a sister. I'm like, I gotta support a sister. All right, let me see. Click, and I started watching. It's like, oh, dad, oh, she got it. Okay, Be the real deal, right? So I knew instantly, one, you knew what you were talking about, but you just got that factor, you know, that personality, larger than life. Like, I mean, and you know what, on social media, to me, this is really what makes it or breaks it on social media, right? One of the factors is it's your energy, it's your passion, right? And it's like, okay, I'm kind of coming through the screen. You can feel me. You know what I'm saying? If I can feel you coming through my screen or on my phone, it's like, you know what? There's a strong probability I'm gonna follow you because it's interesting. You know what I'm saying? Like I told you earlier, it's like, you know, I'm not really in a position to where I need to go to a car dealership and get a loan and do this and that. But why do I follow you? I follow your stuff. I watch your videos, right? It's because of you. It's you. And that's why, yeah. And that's why y'all need to go to, and you know what? Let me type this out. So what is your YouTube channel? I didn't even put that. I mean, I played a little snippet, but what is your YouTube channel?
It's Regina, the Queen of Car Loans with an S and credit. Regina Queen, the Car Loans and Credit. That's my YouTube.
Regina, the Queen of Car Loans and Credit.
Yeah, that's my YouTube. Because I talk about car loans and then I talk about credit. And I'm really about to start diving in really into the credit part, to the financial literacy part.
Okay, so let's do this if you don't mind me, right? Because we kind of, and I noticed, I told you, my show is evolving, right? And I love it. So there is what it used to be, and now I'm noticing like the last couple of things, we really do touch base on those three things. You know, the struggle, the success, the strategy, but now it's kind of growing, right? We're growing here. So what I want to ask you, because we already answered those questions. Quite honestly, we answered them already, right? But I'm loving it. So you were talking the other day about you were talking the other day about like, if you get like a pre-approved thing from blah, blah, blah credit, like don't throw that away. Like that's approved credit. Da, 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 da. You remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I was talking about if you get a pre-approval, if you're looking for a car, you get a pre-approval in the mail from Capital One. Don't throw it away. You know, you take it into the dealership, you're pre-approved, but that means that they haven't pulled your credit, but you go into the dealership and that's when they pull your credit. And Capital One is one of the big banks. They're one of the, top 10 banks is Capital One. I don't know what banks are over there, but over here, it's Capital One. And Capital One, they do some things that some of the other banks don't do. It's like waiving POI, which POI is no proof of income. And then you have those small business owners or the entrepreneurs or the people that are self-employed. Same thing, right? That make money, but they can't show it on paper. But when your credit is A1, you don't have to show proof, right? But for the people that credit is not A1, you have to show proof of income. And in some cases, you get approved through Capital One. You don't have to prove your income if you qualify. If not, and you got to prove your income, then you may qualify for that interest rate. That interest rate that you think that would not usually qualify for. So they have good rates. You might qualify for that 10, that single digit interest rate, maybe that 9.95 or that 8.95 versus that 15 to 16%. That's all. A lot of people get pre-approvals and they just toss them out. So I just say don't toss those pre-approvals out. Even if you're looking for a credit card, don't toss them out. If you looking to get that credit card at that particular time. Now I'm not gonna say throw out all the credit cards because I do this too. I throw them out too. If I'm not looking for it, I don't want it. But me, I'm not gonna. Me because being in the car business, I'm not gonna look for a pre-approval. Because I'm right in the midst of things in the dealership. So I'm just trying to educate folks on just paying attention to those little things that you get through the mail, especially if you're looking for a car.
See, and that's so important because we don't know that. Yeah, that's the beauty of all your videos that I've seen so far. It's like every video that I've seen from you, you're dropping gems. Like, you know what, unless you worked at a car dealership or somebody in your family is in the car business, right? You do not know this stuff. It's like highly guarded. It's like the recipe for freaking Coca-Cola. You don't know what I'm saying? You don't know the recipe for Coca-Cola. Right? So for you to be dropping these industry, to me, it's like industry trade secrets. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, this is huge. People need to know this. So what's another thing? We're gonna have to close out in a little bit, but
Yeah. Okay. So one more thing I want to drop tonight or this afternoon is
okay.
that right now used cars are up. They're up 33%. Right. You're paying
Mhm.
more for a used car now because of the chip issue we have over here in America on the cars. Right. So
Right.
I used to work at a General Motors store, work at a Chevy store, and I am in
Mhm.
Michigan. And
Mhm.
it doesn't matter. It could be Chevy across the United States, right? We get our chips from China. So what's
Right.
happening is with used cars, the prices are going up because the demand is high and the supply is low when it comes to new cars. So people that are looking for used cars, they're gonna pay
Mhm.
a little bit more for a used car. But
Mhm.
my nugget is if you're leasing a car, it doesn't matter where you are in the country, right?
Okay.
In the
Okay.
United States, if you're leasing a car
Mhm.
and your lease is coming up, or if you got 6 more months or a year left on your lease,
Okay.
go get your vehicle appraised. You can go to Vroom, Carfax, CarMax, Vroom, uh, Edmunds, or you can go to a dealership. Get it appraised. Find out your buyout on your vehicle and get your car appraised. I'm gonna give you a quick
Wait. Why?
example.
Why do they this? I must have missed something. Why do they need to get their car appraised? Why should they do that?
Because you want to sell your lease car and put money in your pocket. Sell your lease car and put money in your pocket versus turning your car into the dealership and getting another car. You
Oh, I
following
didn't even
me?
know you could sell a lease car. You can sell a
Yeah,
lease
yeah, you
car.
can. Yeah, you can. So you can sell your lease car. When you sell your lease car to the dealer, it's called a buyout. And the dealership, you call your finance, the leasing company, which
Uh-huh.
over here at General Motors, GM Financial. You call GM Financial and you say, well, you know what, what's my buyout price on the car? It's on your contract. You can look on there, your original
Mm-hmm.
contract you bought the car when you leased the car, or you can
Mm.
call GM Financial. And
Yeah.
then if your buyout price is 23,000 and your car is worth 26,000,
Mm-hmm.
then that's 3 grand. That's 3 grand your way. The dealership is going to write a check for 23,000. You're not going to pay the taxes on the vehicle. The dealership is, but
Uh-huh.
you're gonna walk away with 3 grand, $3,000. And if you sell it to a dealership, you're not going to pay tax. If you sell it to a person, you're going to pay tax. So somebody got to pay the tax.
Oh, that is
So
brilliant.
yeah,
Regina,
so
I'm
that's money.
telling you, I've never heard of that in my life.
Well, it's new. It's always been that way. When you lease a car, you can always a buyout price if you want to buy
Yeah.
that car and you want to keep the car, right? But
Mm-hmm.
times are different now, and the values are higher because again, demand is high on a used car and
Yeah.
supply is low. So that's why. That's why it's so much. I mean, that's
Uh,
why it's so important now. If you're leasing a
yeah.
car, don't just turn your car in. See what the value is. Put some money in your pocket to get your next lease car, or if you want to purchase a car, or use half of it down for a lease and put the rest in your pocket. That's all. Now that's a huge nugget.
Wow. That is huge. I'm serious. My mind is like poof, poof. I wish I knew this back in the day, right? So, I can't time travel, right? But I can make sure that people get this. So, when I see your posts on LinkedIn, I support your posts and whatnot. And,
Appreciate
I,
it.
I want to make sure this information gets out because it's very valuable. And then, okay, so one more nugget, please, ma'am. Please, one more nugget. So if you have somebody that's coming into the car business, they're trying to succeed in what you do or in some type of sales, what would you say would be a nugget for them as far as like longevity and really climbing to the top of the ladder? What would you share with them?
Well, I want to say just find your lane. Find what if that's what you want to do, whether you want to sell cars or you want
Mm-hmm.
to sell clothes or you want to sell whatever you want to do. If you come into the automobile business, find
Mm-hmm.
your lane. Brand yourself. I sell cars, but we have a service advisor. He's in
Mm.
service, right?
Yeah.
And everybody knows where he works. He let all his friends know. He has Facebook page, saying he's the best service guy in the world because he takes care of his customers. He follow-ups with his customers. He asks his customer, do your friend needs some work done on their car? Do they have some issues? Send them to me. Because you just have to brand yourself, and everybody have to know what you do. Because it's two major purchases people make in life, and that's a house and a car. So if you're a real estate agent, then you want to come up with your own name, your own brand, whatever that is, right?
Right.
Everybody got to know what you do. You got to look in your network, and you got to go out your network, because you never know when somebody's going to need you. I remember, when I first got into business, I was going store to store passing out flyers. Now where I'm at, I'm blessed now where, I'm in a TV commercial with the owner of the dealership and his son. So I'm very blessed. That's because I branded myself. He trusts me. He believes he knows I'm going to represent his dealership, right? Because not only when you brand yourself and you working for a company or even you working for yourself, you have to know that you represent yourself wherever you go. Like I'm on your show, right?
Right.
This show could go anywhere in the United States of where you put it. Any social media platform you put it on, right? Yeah. I represent myself, right? But I'm also representing the dealership I work for, right? So only thing I want to say is find your lane and then find a way to brand yourself. And you don't have to spend a lot of money to brand yourself because they got social media. I wish social media was like this 20 years ago, but it wasn't.
It's not, right. Okay, so all right, just one more question. So, and a lot of this some stuff I do know, some stuff I don't know. All right, so let's talk about branding right quick, okay? Because I love the whole Queen of Carla. I mean, it's killer. You cannot forget it. If I forgot your name, I cannot forget your title, your brand. So what information or what nugget could you give people about branding?
Well, I mean, you know what? It's not coming up with so much a name. If you can't come up with, you got to have something catchy where somebody got to remember you by. But when it comes to branding, you got to place whatever you do everywhere. I remember going down the street with magnets on my car. I remember going in the store, passing out my flyer, passing out cards. I remember getting on it, trying to get on everybody's network and Facebook page when Facebook first came out. I would tag 50 people. I would tag 90 people. Back in the day, you could tag as many people as you wanted, right? So I branded myself. I got in the local newspaper, right? I did sponsor ads on Facebook that don't cost a lot of money, So and then when I went out and then I started finding about social media, that's when I found out about podcasts, and that's when I found out, let me turn this phone up and let me just start talking, right? So I'm getting real good at it.
You are.
I could, somebody could, give me a topic, or I could, what I need to talk about, or I do a little bit of homework. And even if I don't know everything, I do a little bit of reading. Even if I got to read from my paper for a minute, and I got to say, well, blah, blah, blah has this much interest. Like I just did a commercial before about an hour and a half ago. And I talked about Family Friday. Yeah. I did a little bit of homework on that, read a little bit, and just started talking. So my thing about branding is you have to start the little things with branding. You have to have people help brand yourself, because your network will help brand you. They may not always support you, right? But if you are a real estate agent, or if you sell cars, right? Then if your network would just tell 2 people or 3 people, and they don't even buy the kind of cars you sell, then that's gonna help you. You know why? It's because when people think about a car, they're gonna think about Regina, the Queen of Car Loans. And I try to show my face on everything. Because if you put my name, then when you see this face, oh yeah, I know that girl. I know that lady. I've seen her before. Right. So that's why I try to foster my face with everything that I do.
Which is huge. So I'm in between marketing people right now. My last marketing, she is amazing. She is amazing, right? But I remember her telling me, she was like, Mike, you got to figure out, like, do you want to do personal branding or do you want to do, company branding? You know, you want to hide behind your logo, right? Because your logo is like everywhere. I remember saying your logo is the star of the show, right? But we don't see you, Mike. Where are you at? Right. I'm like, you know what? I made the decision to pivot and go with a personal brand. So now it's like, oh, the Mike Dillard brand of families, right? Bam, bam, bam. So you always see me, you always hear me. People know who I am, right? And it doesn't matter what platform, they know me. And it helped to have a viral video too. That helped a lot too. So I'm with you on that. The branding, that's what's up. Gotta have it. Okay, so listen. Wow, this was a great interview. It's one of these things where it's like, I'm gonna have to have you come back on the show for real, right? Because there's so much more that I want to ask you. There's so much. Where are you? Where are you in the United States, and what dealership are you with?
Well, I'm at a Chevy, Joe Longheimer Chevrolet in Waterford, Michigan. If you want to, I have a website. It is called Regina, the Queen of Car Loans with an S.com. I have that's my website, and you can go to my YouTube channel. My channel, and that's Regina, the Queen of Car Loans and Credit. And if someone's in the United States, I'm on the praise station every Sunday morning from 7:30 to 8. I have a show on there, and we're working on a podcast. When we have our podcast, I'm gonna make sure I have you on my podcast. But we're working on trying to put that together. So
love it.
We're gonna work out. Get on a platform where we can have other people or people outside the United States, to come on and talk and have conversation. Because all about having conversation.
When we get offline, I'm gonna put you on to this international speaking group that I was in last year, right? That person that came on and said like, hey, I can see both of you. EJ is like this amazing. She used to work at the BBC. Like she works for the government now. She's like a very popular speaker, like a public speaker. That's EJ. She does all types of stuff, right? But so we met in that group last year, right? So I mean, I got to do some international talks and whatnot. So I mean, you have global ambitions, which I see, right? And I can totally see you doing stuff globally. Yeah. But that would be very helpful. It doesn't cost money, but I'm gonna act like I said, when we get off of here, we'll talk backstage right quick, and I'll give you some information, and I'll send you the link to their group, the Facebook group.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, I appreciate you, sister. Okay, so on that note, we're going to go ahead and close out. Listen, this was a fantastic interview. I appreciate everybody that came and supported. Regina, thank you so much for coming on today's show. And like I said, I had somebody that was scheduled. I actually didn't give you the backstory. I had somebody that was scheduled, and then they couldn't come on. My sister, Yvonne, hey, my sister. She's wonderful, wonderful. Thank you for coming on. So I had somebody that was scheduled, and then all of a sudden they couldn't do it. So I literally was praying. I was like, Lord, I know you got somebody that you can help me with. Please help me. And then like a few minutes later, it was like, bing, the DM. Who is that? Oh, can I be on your show? You gotta be kidding me, Lord. Are you kidding me? Perfect timing, right? All right. So anyway, on that note, we're gonna close out. So I always say, listen, I can get straight in this camera, right? Okay. Mindset matters most, right? If you change your mindset, you change your money. If you change your mindset, you change your money. If you change your mindset, you change your money. And that's it. Aloha and have a wonderful day.